Hello friends, now we are with the current mirror circuit. It is the last circuit of compound configurations. Current mirror circuit is very important for all the exams, that is for engineering services, for GATE and for civil services, for all the three branches: electronics, electrical and instrumentation engineering. So this is the last but very important circuit of EDC and analog electronics. Let us see the circuit. So I'll be taking separately. First I'll take that is current mirror using BJT. We will discuss it using BJT first, and then we will discuss it using MOSFET. Both circuits will be discussing one by one. Let us start with the BJT first. So this is the circuit of current mirror. We have a resistance, a BJT, then we have another BJT like this. We have biasing source here, plus V, this is resistance R, and emitter of both BJTs is connected to ground. Fine. And this is the base of this is shorted with the collector. This is transistor Q1, this is transistor Q2, and this is collector current of Q2, that is IC2. This is collector current of Q1, that is IC1. This is current I. Now this is the current of base Q2. This is current of base Q1. Voltage here is VBE1. Voltage here is VBE2. Right? So this is what you have. This circuit is known as current mirror circuit. So let us see what could be the possible expressions, possible derivations, and then numerical based on this circuit. So first I am talking about the current mirror using BJT. So this is the circuit of current mirror using BJT. In this circuit, what do? We control the collector current of Q2 by controlling this voltage. So sometimes we call this as the current source. Current mirror circuit is the current source. Why do we call it current mirror? Because this current is the reflection of this current. This current is almost same as this current. So that is why we call this as the current mirror, because it is acting like a mirror for this current to be same as this current. Fine. So let us see, this is IB1. In this particular circuit itself, we will be taking two cases. Case 1, when both Q1 and Q2 both are exactly similar, both are matched with each other. So when both transistors are matched, what do? We take VBE1 equal to VBE2, and that is VBE. This is what we are assuming. We take IB1 equal to IB2 equal to IB, and we take IC1 equal to IC2, and that is equal to IC, and we take beta 1 equal to beta 2, and that is current gain of Q1 is equal to current gain of Q2, and that is equal to beta. Fine. So these are the some assumptions we are carrying with us. For finding out the expression of this current, I will be finding the expression of this current IC2, that is collector current of Q2. Now let us see it carefully. What is current base of base 1? Here, what is current in this part? That is IB1. If you apply KCL here, current here will be this plus this. So that is IB1 plus IB2. Fine. Now, what is the current I? Please see carefully. Current I is equal to IC1 plus IB1 plus IB2. That's what you have. Why? You apply KCL at this node. So this is outgoing current, this is outgoing current. So this current plus this current must be equal to current I. What is IB2? Current IB2 is equal to, or you can write it like this, because IC1 is same as this is nothing but IC2 upon what? Beta 2. Similarly, what is IB1? That is IC1 upon beta 1. So what do we get from here? The current I is equal to, you can put these two expressions here, that is IC1 plus IC1 by beta 1 plus IC2 by beta 2. This is the expression of current I. Fine. Now, this gives I equal to, now what we have assumed? Both IC1 is equal to IC, beta 1 is equal to beta, IC1 is equal to IC2 equal to IC, beta 1 is equal to beta 2 is equal to beta. So simply I can write it, this is equal to IC plus IC upon beta plus IC upon beta, or you can write it like this, I equal to, you can take LCM, beta plus 2 divided by beta multiplied by IC. Fine. Now this gives IC is equal to beta divided by beta plus 2 into I. This is the expression of current IC. Current IC is, of course, we are assuming both are same. Now, important point here is beta is much greater than unity. It's of order of 100. So 100 divided by 102, or you can say beta is of order of what? 98, maybe 99, or maybe 998, 99.8, something like that. Fine, approximately 100. So it is 100 is very large in comparison to this 2. So therefore, you can write beta plus 2 is approximately beta, and when it is approximately beta, so IC will be equal to what? Same as current I. Fine. So the collector current of Q2 is reflection, the mirror image of current I. Now the question arises, how to find current I? Point is how to find this current I. Let us see how to find that current. You can apply KVL here. Applying KVL. Please remember, when you apply KVL, so what is voltage at this node? V. So start with V. Then come down. If it is positive node, I will take plus V. If it is minus node, I will take minus V. So start from here. So plus V, then current is entering here. So this end is plus, this is minus. So when you start from here, this is positive, but this is voltage fall. Remember, whenever there is a node, this node can be considered like this, a voltage with respect to ground. This is same as that. Voltage of a node is always with respect to ground. So when you start like this, so this is minus, this is plus, voltage rise, but this is plus, this is minus, voltage fall. So that node voltage or this battery is same thing, because that voltage is with respect to ground. So when you apply KVL, either you imagine like this is minus, this is plus, voltage rise, so I will take plus V here. Then when current enters in resistance, so that end is positive, so this is voltage fall, so I will take minus I into R, right? Then come via this path and come back to ground. You start from ground plus voltage V, then plus minus voltage fall, come via this path, then plus minus voltage fall. So minus VBE is equal to 0. This gives the current I is equal to V minus VBE divided by resistance R. So that means by controlling this resistance, I can control I, or by controlling this voltage, I can control I. VBE is almost constant voltage. So by controlling either this voltage source V or by controlling this resistance R, I can control I. Indirectly, I can control this collector current IC, because IC is reflection, IC is mirror image of current I. This is one simple circuit. So this is very important. You must remember it directly if possible. This is very important. You must remember it if possible. These are the expressions of the collector current. But what I have assumed, both transistors are matched with each other. That is the assumption we have carried. When both transistors are not matched with each other, what will be the case? This is simple case, but you will find a lot of questions based on this circuit itself in engineering services prelims, and there can be question in gate as well. There can be conventional question or question in engineering services mains based on this circuit. Fine. So let us take case 2, when both transistors are not matched with each other. So when both transistors are not matched, let us see how to proceed. Procedure and method will be similar, but there will be little change here. Let us see that. When both transistors are not matched, the collector current of both transistors will not be same. Fine. And betas will also be different. Let us see how to proceed. When both transistors are not matched, we will start with one thing. What is that? That is collector current of Q2, or you can say the collector current of BJT is given by, what is the expression? Saturation current IS e raised to power VBE upon thermal voltage VT. If you remember it, that's fine. If you don't remember it, please do remember. The collector current of BJT is given by this, where IS is saturation current. IS is what? Saturation current at emitter junction. And VT is, that is, VT is thermal voltage. Fine. And VB, you know what is VB? So we'll be finding the expressions of current. But what is saturation current? IS. The saturation current, I can just give you one direct relation. The saturation current is given by, that is, charge Q into area of cross section of emitter junction into, if it is NPN transistor, then it is the diffusion constant of electrons multiplied by concentration of electrons in the base region divided by the width of the base region. Please remember this expression if you can. If you cannot remember, at least you should remember the saturation current is directly proportional to emitter junction, where A is, that is, cross section area of what? Emitter junction here. You can refer my lecture on the BJT or my text on the BJT, and I repeat, my text is completely available on digacademy.com. I repeat that, www.digacademy.com. Complete text is available there. You can visit and find this complete text on the BJT, where I have given you the expression of the saturation current. I have even derived that expression. Fine. But for this particular case, I need to remember this much. So what do I find here? The saturation current, the collector current is directly proportional to the area of cross section of the ammeter junction. So IC2 by IC1 is equal to AE2 by AE1. Fine. And if you are given, sometimes you are mentioned that condition, the area of cross section of the ammeter junction of Q2, ammeter junction is this. If area of cross section of ammeter junction of Q2 is n number of times the area of cross section of junction ammeter junction of Q1, so we take this equal to m into AE1 by AE1, that is equal to m. Fine. So what do we get? IC2 is equal to m into IC1. That is the relationship between two. In earlier case, what we have taken? We have taken this IC1 equal to IC2. But in this case, we are not taking it to be same. We are assuming then both collector currents are different. Fine. This is what I have to tell. Otherwise, let us see further. The procedure of finding those currents will be same or similar to what we have discussed in previous topic. Let us see that now again. Here, I will be finding again that relationship between the currents. Now, what is the current I? You can see the current I. The current I here is, apply KCL at this node. So current I is equal to IC1 plus IB1 plus IB2. When you apply KCL here, this current I is equal to this current IC1 plus outgoing, this is outgoing current, this is outgoing current, sum of these two will be incoming current. So this is what you have. So this gives I equal to IC1 plus what is IB1? That is IC1 upon beta. That is the relationship between base current and collector current. So IC1 is, IB1 is what? IC1 by beta plus what is this? IC2 upon, this has to be beta 1, this has to be beta 2. That's what you have. Fine. Now, what is, I have to again, what is the purpose? I have to find IC2 in terms of current I. The approach and method is similar to what we discussed. Final objective is to find IC2. So this gives I equal to, and you know, we have obtained IC2 is what? M into IC1. So IC1 is what? IC1 is IC2 upon M. So I can write this to be IC2 upon M plus IC2 upon M into beta 1 plus IC2 upon beta 2. So this gives the collector current IC2 equal to what? I upon divided by 1 upon M plus 1 upon M beta 1 plus 1 upon beta 2. Or you can simplify it further. Fine. But this is the relationship between collector current and current I. Fine. So, or you can write it like this as well. This will be I upon, you can take 1 by M outside, 1 plus beta 1 by beta 1 plus 1 by beta 2. Fine. But here you should remember the procedure rather than mugging up this formula. If both transistors have a same gain, if beta 1 is equal to beta 2 equal to beta. That is again a condition. We are just assumption, not condition. We are just assuming if beta 1 is equal to beta 2 is equal to beta, what will be collector current IC2? That will be equal to, please see it carefully, I upon, you can put it here or put it there, that's your choice, 1 by m plus 1 by m beta plus 1 by beta. So IC2 will be equal to what? I upon 1 by m plus into 1 plus beta upon beta plus what? 1 by beta, or you can take it like this, beta can be taken in numerator. So beta by, what will be in the denominator in that case? You will be having beta by 1 plus beta plus m beta into what? Current I. I'm just taking LCM of this. You can take m beta in numerator. So what will be there? It will be m here. It will be 1 plus beta here and m into beta in the numerator. So that is IC2. Fine. So this way you can drive the relationship between the two. Fine. And we know it is when if you compare it 1 plus beta is approximately equal to beta. So you can replace it by beta and so on. Fine. But this is the exact expression of the current. That is exact expression of the collector current in terms of current I. But what is current I? I repeat, what is current I? We have already seen, apply KCL here. This voltage V minus what? Drop across this resistance, then come that way, minus VBE. I have already given you that expression, or you can say VBE1. So I will be equal to V minus VBE1 divided by R. So I can find the collector current of this, collector current of transistor Q2. Fine. So that is how we have to proceed when both transistors are not matched. So there can be a numerical or question based on this particular circuit. We can take one simple example based on this. Let us see that. You are given a circuit. You are given a circuit where you are given biasing voltage here. You are given a biasing voltage here. This is minus 10 volt. Fine. This is grounded. So that can also be given to you. This is grounded. You are given minus 10 volt here. In that case, how will you proceed? Beta 1 is given. Beta 1 is different here. Beta 1 here is 700. Beta 2 here is 715. That's given to you. And one more thing is given to you. The area of emitter junction of transistor Q1 is half of the area of emitter junction of Q2, or you can say here AE2 is equal to what? 2 times AE1. So what is M? M is 2. AE2 is equal to 2AE1. So M is equal to 2. So we have seen that. Fine. So everything. Now the question here is, you have to find the collector current. Find IC2. You are given the circuit and you have to find the collector current. Fine. So let us see how to proceed in this case. You have done everything. First of all, we know what is expression of current IC2. Expression of current IC2 is already given to you. That is IC2, or I can write it directly here. IC2 will be equal to what? or you can write it again. What is IC2? You please see it carefully. IC2 will be current I divided by 1 upon M. M is given to you. M is how much? M is 2. M is 2 here. Why? Because area of cross section of this Q1 is half of this. So AE2 is 2, AE1, M is 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 715, sorry, 700 plus 1 by 750. That's it. This is what you have. Now the point is how to find current I. And you know how to find current I. Start from here. This is zero potential. So zero potential. From here to here, it is voltage fall. So minus IR. Fine. Come this way. Minus VBE1. VBE1 is not given to you. Assume this to be 0.7. So why minus VBE? And now please see it carefully. When it is minus, so you can write it like this: minus plus ground. When voltage of a node is negative, you can replace that with a battery of 10 volt where you have minus first then plus, reverse polarity. So when you come here, it is zero potential. I have written 0. Come here, it is voltage fall, plus minus, it is voltage fall. So I have written minus R. Then come here, I am going this way like this. This is minus. Why? Because it is plus minus voltage fall. So I have written minus. Come here. Now this is minus plus voltage rise. So it has to be plus 10. Fine. It has to be plus 10. So that is equal to 0. Or you can simply say, if voltage of a node is minus 10, you could have written like this: minus of minus 10 also. That's also correct. When voltage of a node is negative and when you are applying KVL, so that has to be minus of minus. So this is what you have, right? So what will be current I? Current I will be 10 minus 0.7. I am taking this to be 0.7 divided by resistance R. And this resistance R is given to you, that is 9.3 kilo ohms in the circuit. That's given to you. So this is 9.3 kilo ohms. So if it is in kilo ohms, so this will be in milliamperes. So I is how much? 1 milliampere. So when you put I in this circuit, so that will be 1 milliampere. That's it. And the value of the collector current comes out to be approximately IC2 equal to 2 milliampere. You can calculate, you can check that value. Fine. So this is what you have. So the final value of the collector current comes out to be 2 milliampere. And this was a question in instrument, that was the question numerical in GATE exam in 2010. So this is the procedure of finding the current in collector current when both transistors are not matched. But I repeat, you should not try to remember the formula. Here I have derived the expression. That's why I have put these values directly. Otherwise, in exam, you should know the procedure of finding the current from the current mirror. So that procedure is more important rather than mugging up the formula. Especially in case 2, when both transistors are not matched. So this is the case 1, that is current mirror using BJT. In the next video, I'll be talking about current mirror using MOSFET. So wait for my next video. Thank you very much for watching the video.